see on your Insta you got that Barcelona ball, Lamine.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did that come about?
So
Estimated like turnover, probably
I couldn't give like a precise number,
Yeah,
but
of course.
definitely over the.
profits on some of them or one of them or something.
It's a bit tough to kind of say,
Techie,
but
okay, it's techie. Today we've got a very special episode with my guy, Mr. Fully Paid, who built a clothing brand to a 7-figure business. Tell us about your brand, yourself, and yeah, for those who don't know who you are.
Literally, I'm Mr. Fully Paid, one of the owners, and I'm the guy with the mask. Obviously, if you see on Instagram, so yeah, like you'll probably see me on Insta with the belly and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it, innit? Fully paid, innit? Just all fully paid.
So yeah, man, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, show us around, show us what's in the warehouse, and yeah, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see what day in your life is like. So yeah, man. So this is where stuff happens. Obviously, the orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tell us about what's been happening this past week, man. I know you had some shipment on Wednesday or something like that.
It was Wednesday, I think Tuesday.
So where did that come from?
Turkey.
Okay.
So shipment comes from Turkey. Shipment takes about like 12 days on the truck into England. And then, yeah, obviously it takes another 2 days to clear through custom clearance. Obviously, custom clearance is basically like you have to pay tax and duties and stuff like that. So, yeah.
See, where did it start? Where did the whole thing start?
Where did it start? Where how do we maneuver this one? Yeah. All right, cool. The whole thing started off in jail.
Yeah.
The idea came from jail, and yeah, through my cousin. And obviously, yeah, here it is today. So that's how the concept and the whole idea came from in 2017, I guess.
Okay.
Is it 2017?
From 2017, I assume you didn't have much experience with like clothing.
Nah, not at all. So we didn't have no experience. I never sold clothes in my life. So no experience in clothing, no experience in business, nothing like that. So just, jumping into the deep ocean.
So obviously you guys have a diverse range of clothing, but what did you guys actually start off with? Because I'm sure you didn't start off with all of these items.
No, we started off with t-shirts.
Okay.
Obviously, the t-shirts had like a diamond shape.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We started off with that. That was okay. And then obviously we started off with the hats as what pushed the company.
The hats?
Yeah, the hats. So obviously the hats was no different from the t-shirt. It just had the t-shirt logo on the hats.
Yeah.
But obviously the hats is what obviously built the hype, built everything and stuff like that. So I feel like the hats were like proper key in us growing, to be fair. But when the thing comes from Turkey, obviously the shutters and that comes through here and shit like that. Obviously, some of the orders from Space Club, this whole wall got cleared the other day.
Mad.
Normally it's literally like packed here and here,
Wow.
but everything got cleared. We got another batch. We got like another 200 boxes coming in at the end of the month.
Damn.
For new drops and restocks.
In order because a lot of people, obviously, they're starting, they want to try and grow a clothing brand, but the idea of getting a clothing brand and making it a 7-figure business, like it takes a lot. What are some of the hurdles and obstacles that you've had to face in order to get to where you are today?
Obviously making sure we're like organised and stuff like that, I would say. And just keeping your eye on the ball. Just trying to stay consistent with like drops and stuff like that. And obviously just knowing what works and what doesn't work for me. Obviously it's easier said than done.
100%.
It's not as straightforward. So on the way you're still gonna encounter some issues and stuff like that. But I'll say like literally just knowing what works for you and sticking to it. And obviously, but at the same time, things that work for you might not always work.
Yeah, 100%.
So always have a little sort of backup plan, because what works for you for like 10 years might not work for you anymore.
One thing you guys do very well is obviously like your marketing. Would you say a lot of it's organic, or would you say the best way to get yourself out there is paid marketing?
It's a bit of both. You can use both in it. Obviously, some brands, their marketing is like organic to the max and it's crazy. So they don't need paid ads, you know what I'm saying? Some brands obviously need the both in it. So it all depends on where your brand is and how it's marketed in it. It's just one of them things there. It's hard to tell in it, but obviously you would obviously know what works for you. But obviously for us, I think a bit of both works, innit? Yeah, a bit of both and stuff like that. But some brands don't actually need that, because obviously sometimes the owners are literally the brand itself. So sometimes it's a bit technical, because if the owner is the brand and he leaves, then what happens then? Then it can be like, okay, cool, like he's gone now. So the brand has obviously lost its soul. So sometimes it can be risky as well, like if the owner's literally the brand. Because if the owner leaves the brand, then what happens to the brand?
That makes sense.
So sometimes it's hard, sometimes like it's tough. Because sometimes you can, and obviously it's good being a brand yourself, because being a brand yourself, you can have many opportunities.
Exactly, bro.
But obviously, let's say you want to step away from whatever you want to do, then it's almost like the whole thing, I won't say the whole thing can go crashing down, because if you build such a strong structure, it will stay the same. But some people might be like, okay, cool, where's this guy? And then, yeah, so it's a difficult one, man.
I see on your Insta you got that Barcelona ball, Lamine.
Yeah,
How did that come about?
So, take this to get out there, like, Lamine is obviously a customer.
Oh, right.
And Nico Williams is a customer as well.
Serious.
So if you check Nico Williams, he obviously follows man as well. Just
That's
letting
cold.
everyone know.
That's
innit?
cold,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cold.
Me and then chop it up. But
Nico Williams plays for Atletico.
yeah, Bilbao in it. So yeah, them and our customers. We got a few footballer customers, innit?
Yeah,
but obviously what's funny is that picture of Lamar has been around for a bit. But obviously we just posted it when he was killing it in the Euros.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of
you know
course,
what I'm saying,
of
at the
course,
right
of course.
time because all eyes were on him. Yeah, so yeah, man, he's cool, man. A few Barcelona players, man. Yeah,
That's cold, bro. That's cold, man. So this is why you said. I think you said Italy and Spain, other countries that
I
do well,
think Italy does very well for us. France is good as well. Germany's alright. Spain as well. All the European countries do fairly decent. Obviously, I feel like we need to obviously push more in the European countries and do some activations for them.
100%.
Which we're obviously going to do this year, next year, and stuff like that.
Somebody wanted to start a clothing brand in 2024. How would you advise? What type of advice would you give them?
I mean, if I was meant to give the advice now to start a clothing brand, I would say obviously think bigger than the UK. So you don't always have to blow in the UK. That's one thing because the world's big. And marketing as well. So I feel like now is a bit more different from back then. So I feel like marketing plays a big part in people obviously blowing up. So if your marketing's good, then obviously that's one key area. Like if marketing's good, but then again the product has to be good as well.
Yeah.
If the product's good and the marketing's good, then yeah, that's it, man. You're good to go. So I think that's the two main things: the product's good and the marketing. Some people, you know what's mad? Some people's products ain't even great.
Yeah.
But the marketing is very, 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 very good. So yeah, if I feel like if you can get both of them on point, then yeah, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. But like I feel marketing at this day of age right now, TikTok.
No,
TikTok's controlling everything. I feel like Instagram's kind of dying out. So.
There was a time you grew very fast, and I think you couldn't fulfill the orders. Talk to us about that. What happened there?
So, I mean, these sort of things come with experience and obviously like knowing things in business. Obviously, we didn't have I've never had a business before apart from this. So backend is actually like super key, which is underestimated. So I think it was 2021. The orders we were getting were like way much than what we was getting before. When we started getting the 10,000 units, the 15,000 units of clothes, problems started kicking in because we just didn't have enough soldiers to kind of like make sure everything's sorted. And we're talking about customer service, stuff like that. We had customer service, but it wasn't enough. We didn't really structure it properly. So it's like things. So, but obviously over time you learn certain things and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, man, like backend's key. So that was not really the greatest because I'll say like, for instance, we're getting a mad amount of orders. And some things had to go on pre-order.
Oh, raw.
Unfortunately. And then pre-order sometimes doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes it does where it comes quick and stuff like that. Sometimes it doesn't. And then when it doesn't go according to plan, then bro, it's like, it becomes a headache because then you have like customer service going crazy ham and then the manufacturer moves slow. Then when it comes, it's cool, then it's gone again. And then, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we didn't really plan back end properly to kind of help. But I think obviously that comes with experience. Obviously I've learned from that, and obviously going forward and stuff like that, I'll say like back end's key no matter what, because obviously you don't know what's gonna happen in business. You can blow tomorrow, and then you didn't really plan for that, and then
no, it's true.
And then the back end's all
So if a big overseas investor said, you know what, let me buy the whole thing, what are you saying?
It depends on the price, innit? If the price, I can't think of a price in my head, innit? But it depends on the price. Obviously, before if you ask me this, I'll say like no. But obviously, I don't think I'll actually sell my whole share in it. Obviously, I'll keep a small percent. But I wouldn't say I'm not open to that, innit? Because obviously now things are a bit different from what it used to be before. Obviously, like there's mortgages there, there's things to do. Obviously, family and that. So things are not like, I can't just think like for myself no more. I got to think about 10 years later and stuff like that. So like, man, I think I'll be open to it if the price was right and it made sense, and if I knew what I'm doing next. Then
what do you think you could possibly do next? Do you think you could start a clothing brand and make it as successful?
100%.
So
110%. If I was meant to start another brand today, I'll know exactly what to do and what not to do. So I'll learn from the mistakes I've done with Fully Paid. And then definitely 110%. I'll be able to do that again. But obviously the only difference is like, I don't think I would go into it without no budget.
Yeah.
I'd make sure that I could get funding and stuff, like little things like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, again, you're funding things out your own pocket. It gets costly. It gets expensive. It gets expensive. So that's what I would say personally, innit? I would come in with a proper like plan, like this is what's going on. Because obviously, I know what I'm good at, innit? Like I know what I'm good at. So anything I'm not good at, I'd obviously force it to someone else. So
of course.
If I was meant to start something else now, I know exactly what I'm good at and what I can bring to the table. I wouldn't touch everything. So
Yeah. You said, well, in one of your interviews, I believe you said you started a business with £500.
Yeah, £500.
So in today's market, you would probably say you need like significant more if you want to do. Okay.
You need more than that.
Have you got a number in mind with that you think is quite reasonable?
It's difficult. It's about the manufacturing and stuff like that. But I think I don't think £500 is getting you nothing in clothing at this day of age because one, if you're shipping out, if you're making clothes abroad, you're gonna have to pay customs duty. Yeah. So that's already 20% on top of whatever you're paying for. So I'll say in this day of age now, to start a brand, like what are you thinking, like to start a brand to make sure you go off?
Yeah, to make sure you go off, 20K?
To start with, like when I mean off, you like off.
Yeah, off, yeah.
10, 15K, anything from 10 to 20K.
And the biggest...
I think 10 to 20K.
The biggest expenses will go in, would you say marketing?
Not really, because you don't have to spend that much in marketing because obviously, again, like it depends what sort of marketing you're doing, innit? Yeah. If you're doing like guerrilla marketing, then not really, because guerrilla marketing is more like you're saving the cost. It's not really ads and that. But I'll say shipping, maybe things like shipping, the little things like shipping and stuff like that. Those sort of expenses you have to encounter for and stuff like that. So, and VAT as well. But VAT, that's only if you make over 85 grand and stuff like that. If you do make that, then that's another thing you need to think on as well, because that's another 20% of your overall you need to give to the government every 3 months.
No, that's crazy, man. And you also said that you're shipping your manufacturers in Turkey, is
Turkey,
it? Why did you pick there? Because obviously I'm sure there's other countries.
Yeah, so before we was doing things in Pakistan. And it weren't going according to plan, to be honest with you. Turkey is like more like, it's close, so like when your stuff's done, it takes about 10 to 12 days for it to get into the country. They drive it here by the van, and it's easy to kind of get over there to talk to the manufacturer and factory. Way easy. So I think Turkey's good.
Man.
Works out in the favour.
Estimated like turnover, probably end of this year, what do you think it may be looking like?
I couldn't give like a precise number, but definitely over the 1 mil mark, way over that. So
Yeah, well, I know you're saying that, smiley your face under that mask, bro.
Definitely over that mark. But obviously, that's turnover, innit? So profits obviously different, but...
Of course. But still, no, that's good, bro. Again, you started a business from £500, bro. So regardless, man, it's amazing. But in terms of some of the items, if you can say maybe like profits on some of them or one of them or something, just so people can kind of see numbers maybe. I don't know if you're happy to share that.
I wouldn't... It's a bit tough to kind of say, it's good margins, isn't it? Like, there's good margins. Obviously, before, margins were a bit tight because obviously, again, like we wasn't from our old factory, the deals weren't the greatest, but obviously, we've got a better margin now because we've got the better factories and that now and stuff like that. So the margins are good, in it. Definitely over the double mark.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to ask you. How do you actually work out your pricing? Do you look at other competitors to see what they price, or is it what you think you should be pricing at?
First of all, like we look at the cost of the goods. That's number one. So the cost of the goods from when it gets made, from when it gets shipped, and from when it lands. From when it lands, that's when we do our costing. That's when we'll work out from there, like, all right, how much should this be? Obviously, in our head, we can say, look, we think this is worth this. You can put any price on anything. So we'll look at something and be like, we think it's worth this. Then we work out like our landing prices and stuff like that. Then we take it from that, minus the VAT as well. And then obviously sometimes we might sniff around in the market to see what other competitors are charging and stuff like that. And then see what goes on from there, because it's a rat race, isn't it? Everyone's trying to hustle, innit? So you have to always look over your shoulder and see, like, okay, what are these lot charging and stuff like that. Some people are charging bigger prices. That's fine, innit? Obviously, but
So there you have it. This is a day in the life with Mr. Fully Paid. Obviously, brother, it was nice. Thank you for getting me on, bro.
Thank you for having me as well. So
where can they find you? Where can they find your stuff?
Find me on Instagram, Mr. Fully Paid on Instagram, or follow the main account, fullypaid_clothing. And man, you'll see me there. Mr. Fully Paid, I might just drop some gems here and there. But Yeah.
Yeah, man. So they got a lot of good quality clothing. I'm wearing some of their stuff as well. So yeah, make sure you get some of their stuff. And yeah, as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.